Hi, this is Thomas West. I'm doing this quick video log from my desk at work during my prep period to talk a little bit about Patreon. I joined Patreon roughly 9 months ago and didn't really do much with it at first, but in March I decided to really try to increase the amount of patrons I was getting, and shortly after I made that commitment, I had another patron contact me and requested a pledge for pledge, where if he pledged a dollar to my page, I could pledge a dollar to his, and we could mutually support each other. I thought that was kind of a good idea, so we did it. I soon found out that there was another creator that had done the same thing with him, who was really using that pledge for pledge idea and promoting his self-help videos. So I decided to try it. I started doing it at the end of March, and here we are. It's April 15th. It's tax day, and I started with 3 patrons, and I am now up to 16 patrons, and I just hit my first milestone goal on Patreon, which was to hit the $25 per creation mark. So the supporters that are helping me to this point are getting a special reward for helping me to get things started. So patron to patron, pledge for pledge is definitely working for me. A couple of things that I found out about Patreon and about that process as I've done it. One of the things is that Pledge for Pledge is really cool, not only because you're building your patrons and you're getting money for that, but you're also connecting with other artists and you're getting to see other people's stuff and building relationships with other creative people. And part of the keys to the success in anything online is building relationships with people. The other thing that I've noticed is that the one Pledge for Pledge person that's doing that recommended finding people with no patrons at all and pledging $1 or $2 to them and then waiting for them to contact you. And I tried that a little bit, and I found that most creators prefer you to actually contact them via Facebook or Twitter and to request the Pledge for Pledge first before you actually pledge to them. And I'm finding that to be much more successful. I'm also finding it successful that other creators that I know, excuse me, that are doing Pledge for Pledge are finding other people willing to do that. So I'm able to go to their patron list and see who's supporting them and who they're supporting, and then contact those people and get them to do a Pledge for Pledge with me as well. So that's working to help me find people that are willing to do it. I have had some people come back and say that they don't do that sort of thing or they don't have money, and that's all fine. It's nice to have a community of people who are willing to support one another financially and hopefully also by checking each other's stuff out and being supportive that way. The other thing that I found out as I've done more creations this month to make sure that the amount that I'm pledging to other creators is not surpassing the amount that I'm bringing in from my own creations. I want to at least break even in doing this Pledge for Pledge process. The other thing I'm finding out is that the cash amount that is showing that it says that you're getting per creation is not really what you're getting as you go through the month. And the reason for that is because people are able to put a spending limit on the amount of pledges that they are funding for you. So if somebody says they're pledging $2 per creation, they can put a cash limit on that. I've done that for a couple of creators. So when you go into the back end of Patreon to see what your latest creation is bringing in money-wise, you may not see that total that your patron profile page says you're supposed to be getting, because some people hit their monthly cap and then they're not contributing to anything else. So that is all the more reason that you want to not spam your Patreon page with tons of paid content, because the amount of returns you're going to get on that is just going to continue to go down. And also it's an incentive to continue to branch out and find more people and more patrons to look at your stuff, because it's reasonable that everybody's going to have a monthly cap to what they're doing. So reaching out and communicating and building your circle of people that are supporting you and that you're supporting them is beneficial, because it's going to make that amount that's coming in per creation higher as you go through a month. So those are the things I'm learning as I go through and start working with Patreon, and I hope that sharing those experiences with you helps you to decide whether or not a Patreon page is something that you're willing to invest your time and energy in. I definitely have been spending probably 15 to 20 minutes a day looking for patrons, talking to other creators, and then obviously working on the content to put on the page as well. So it is an investment in time. And if you don't have a large, super huge audience coming from another source like YouTube, you're really, doing Pledge for Pledge is the best way to get a Patreon page off the ground. And it takes time and effort, just like anything else that involves money. So thanks for watching, and hope that this little explanation of what's going on my Patreon page is helpful to you.